Hey fellow babies, welcome back to the last episode of Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net, the way you know it. We're changing up the site, we're changing up the way we do things. I haven't been told what we're doing, but we're doing it different. So you're gonna watch this episode and then everything's gonna change. Site redesign, interface, access, everything different. Let's hope it's better. We're gonna have to have confidence in Shane. So please, if you are a Patreon patron, keep paying because it's going to get better, I promise. We're spending money to make it better. And if you're not a Patreon patron, please link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. That's free and we get paid. And as a reward for your making that link, you can get access to Pachter Factor at the same time as Patreon patrons. The SIFTD patrons get access. So you get it a week earlier than YouTube. All you have to do is link your Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. Instructions below. Piece of cake. All right, let's get on with the last episode of Pachter Factor the way you know it. From SIFTD, our first question from Erebus Jones. How big of an impact will Xbox All Access have on sales of Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5? Conventional wisdom is the PS4 is the best-selling console this generation because it has the best games. But with this layaway plan, you get an Xbox Series X for nothing down, immediately have access to a huge library of games. Will consumers respond? Good question. I mean, Microsoft is emulating the iPhone model where you don't actually buy a phone. You just kind of trade it in every couple of years and pay a monthly fee every year, I guess, for some of them. So they're doing that. I don't think it's going to have a big impact. And I say that without knowing. I don't know. It's clearly cheaper to sign up for, $30 a month or whatever. I can't remember what the plans are priced at, but 30 I think is kind of the starter plan. It might be 20 actually, whatever. For the Xbox Series X, I'm sure it's more, but anyway, somewhere around $20-30 a month. If you pay $30 a month over the course of a couple of years, that's costing you $700. That's like buying a console, let's just say for $500, and it probably is going to be that much, and buying 4 games. I mean, I think the idea is they want to get you to be a subscriber because if you're a subscriber, they can count on those revenues. And once they build up their subscription base, they can offer even more games. So, there's a reason that they're buying all these studios because they clearly intend to publish a lot of content. There's a reason they're licensing stuff like GTA 5 because they absolutely want to give you compelling content, to induce you to join up. I don't know. I would say maybe 3 million people do it. I don't think it's going to be 30. And so I don't think it's going to make a big dent in PS4. I don't think that you're right about conventional wisdom on PS4. I think that the reason PS4 is such a big seller is that it's a good console and it's quite comparable to the Xbox One. And if you are indifferent, then you buy the console your friends have. And if you live in Europe, more of your friends have PS3s, and so they bought PS4s. And there are the occasional odd people like me who have all the consoles and I play all the games. But I have to be honest, I have consoles I like better. I tend to buy the game or use the game in the console I'm playing most recently. So when I was playing God of War and Spider-Man, I played Call of Duty on PS4. When I'm playing Halo and Gears, I'll play Call of Duty or FIFA on Xbox. But, to me, it's just because I happen to have it on, and it's easier just to switch games while it's on. But I don't see a perceptible difference in terms of the console game quality. And I can afford both, so fortunately, I can and I do. If you only have one, yeah, I guess exclusives will be a driver. Last of Us is a driver for why you would pick one. Uncharted was in the PS3 cycle. Last of Us has been the PS4 cycle, and games like Halo and Gears exclusive drive it. But to say Spider-Man is better than Halo, I mean, it depends on what kind of game you like. It's not better if you like first-person shooter games. So I don't know. I personally think it's awesome that we have all these choices, and I think you're going to get more choices when we get streaming services. And I think that what will be really interesting is to see if PlayStation now offers Xbox games and Xbox All Access offers PlayStation games in 10 years. Ultimately, I think everybody's going to offer everything because I think the whole world is moving to the cloud. But anyway, yeah, I don't think that Xbox All Access is going to have a big impact. Maybe 5% of total gamers, maybe. I don't think it's going to be 10 or 20 or 30. We'll see. Really depends on what they charge for the console and if the monthly payment is perceived to be a real benefit. I suppose there are people who just can't afford $500 for a console. But when you think about console gaming, it pretty much requires you to have high-speed internet. And high-speed internet plans are, 30 is a joke. You don't get them for 30. They're $50 and up. So, and cell phone plans are $50 and up. You're already $100 a month subscriber just to have a phone and just to have internet. So, it's not like you can't afford to buy a console. And if you buy it with a credit card for $500, you can pay $30 a month until you pay it off. And the interest rate's not going to destroy you. Okay, our next question from SIFTD from Toast9. I know you're not a marketing person, but what is your take on Sony's strategy for the launch of PS5? Personally, I think it's crap. I'm quoting you. Xbox has made a splash in the last few months. Why is Sony letting it go unanswered? Based on Sony's actions so far, Wired articles are more relevant than E3 now. Is Sony showing its PS2, PS3 arrogance again? I don't understand it at all. I don't know what Sony's doing. I agree with you. Like I think Microsoft is kind of shockingly good at it. And I say that because Microsoft's not a consumer products company. You could say, well, Office is a consumer product, but it's not really. Office is essential if you have a PC. Like you've got a word process, and you've got to have email, and you've got to have internet. So they PowerPoint. They I guess they market that, but really the way they get you is they get you hooked in school. That you're using it on a laptop in school, and then you just end up using it as a habit. Sony, on the other hand, is a consumer products company, and I don't know how many of you remember products like the Walkman, but they've been selling televisions and stereos and headsets and Walkmen forever. And you would think they'd be a lot better than Microsoft. And I do agree with you that they're letting Microsoft grab all the spotlight, and there is a strategy there. I am not the right person to say that Sony doesn't know what they're doing. I am the right person to say they shouldn't skip E3, and I did a whole episode on that. But realistically, I think Sony is just going to concentrate its marketing effort. And in fairness, I think ads for PlayStation 3 and 4 were really good. So I like that whole world as gaming kind of ad campaign they've been doing with PS4 lately, showing all the different cutscenes from all their different games. I think that's actually pretty effective. So I think they're really good marketers. I think their strategy of avoiding E3 is stupid, and I did a full episode on that. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised once the PS5 is officially, unveiled, out there, announced, and they're marketing it. And I think it looks to me like they're going to start around GDC, so around March, and continue steady and probably have big ad reveals at E3, just not at a Sony press conference at E3. My guess is that they're saving $10 million not being at E3, and they're going to spend $10 million on a television ad blitz that week. That's probably what will happen. So you'll probably hear about it, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if Sony's at E3, just not the same way you expect them to be. So if anybody from Sony is watching this, and I'm sure there is somebody from Sony watching this, you are invited to have the PS5 in a glass case at my E3 party, and we will pay for security to make sure nobody walks off with one. But I think the people at my E3 party, the 950 of my closest friends, would love to see one. And so you are invited to have one under glass, and Microsoft, you are too. But you're going to be at E3, so I'll talk to you guys directly. Our next question from Patreon from John Ba DK. It's been months since Shawn Layden left PlayStation, and we still don't know why. Has he signed a lifelong NDA? Why do you think he was let go? Do they part on good terms? Let's be real. Shawn cast his lot with Andrew House. He kind of moved up in the organization with Andrew. They were very tight, and I don't know why Andrew left. But Andrew left, and Andrew was on the outs with management. Management's changed. I mean, Kaz Hirai was in charge of Sony, and Andrew was one of Kaz's boys, and Kaz is not there anymore. I would just say it's politics. I don't think Shawn did anything wrong. I think Shawn was on the team that didn't win. And I don't think that that's a reflection on the abilities of Shawn at all. As far as the question, did he sign a lifelong NDA? I don't know what you think he's going to disclose. My guess is he'll end up doing something. I mean, Phil Harrison left Sony. He was president of Sony Europe. He left several years ago and went to work for Microsoft. So I think Shawn will end up doing something. I mean, he's not an old guy. He's a very nice guy. He's a super capable guy. So I think he was let go more out of politics than anything else. And to be honest, Jack Tretton was let go when Andrew moved up, when Andy House moved up. It's, Andy and Jack weren't best friends, and when Andy became the boss, Jack was out, and Shawn became the boss. When Andy was let go, then Shawn was in trouble. And I don't think it's a reflection on anybody's ability at all. They were just on the wrong team, and their team didn't take control. Kaz was Andy House's mentor. Andy was Shawn Layden's mentor. Kaz is gone, Andy's gone, Shawn's gone. That's it. All right, our next question from SIFTD from Norix Nessie. How are dev kits given out? Who pays for them? The developers and publishers or the console manufacturers? How many of them are usually given out, and how do the manufacturers decide who gets them? Thanks, and love the show. The answer is it depends. They don't cost that much. I mean, dev kits it's a PC, so it's $500. Maybe it's $1,000. And a developer doesn't need 10,000 of them. They need 100 of them. So probably the console manufacturer pays for most of it. It depends on who you are. Like if you're the Call of Duty team or the FIFA team and you want to make a PS5 game, yeah, Sony's giving it to you for free. If you call them up and say, hey, my buddies and I are working in a garage and we want to make a PS5 game, I doubt they'll even give you one. But let's say you're in between. Let's say you're the wonderful 101 Platinum Games developer. Maybe they'll ask you for some money, maybe not. I really think it depends on what terms they come up with. If it's Call of Duty or FIFA and they know it's going to be on the next gen consoles, you're getting all the dev kits you want for free. If you are a startup studio, that has never made a game before, you're probably paying, and if you're in between, it's probably in between. I don't think it matters. I think that they are given out based upon the console maker's decision, opinion about what's going to move consoles. So internal studios obviously get all of them for free. External studios probably get them largely for free, and you just want them making games for your console. So the games that are going to sell, if you look at the top 20 games year in and year out, those guys are all getting free dev kits. So Respawn is getting as many dev kits as they want. Treyarch is getting as many dev kits as they want. Tiburon and EA is getting as many as they want. And anybody who's got an independent Epic, they want dev kits, they're getting them. If Bethesda wants dev kits, they're getting them. So I think it's pretty simple. If you're watching on SIFTD as a Patreon patron, thank you very much for your patronage. If you are watching on Twitch TV, that's because you were smart enough to link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account. We're getting paid, and you're able to watch this show the same time as a SIFTD patron, so thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube because you're too lame to figure that crap out, please follow me at Michael Pachter on Twitter, because I need some more Twitter followers to boost my ego. Thanks very much. We will see you next week, and we're redesigning the site, so we'll see you in a different format and in a different way. Thanks very much. There are some supervisors who want to hear the truth, and there are some supervisors who want to hear that they're brilliant in everything they do, even if it's wrong. I am the person who told my bosses, I don't think that's going to work, and here's why. Not, you're an idiot and you should be fired and you're a moron. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm not sure that'll work, and here's why. And they wanted to hear, what a brilliant idea. Let's go run through walls and get it done. I'm not that guy.